Big trade shakeup. Eagles snag star cornerback Jaire Alexander from Ravens in a deal that could redefine Philadelphia's defense. Imagine waking up to find one of your favorite players suddenly switching teams mid-season. It's the kind of drama that gets football fans buzzing. And this time, it's former Pro Bowl cornerback Jaire Alexander making the leap from the Baltimore Ravens to the Philadelphia Eagles. But here's where it gets controversial. Is this a savvy move for Philly? Or is Alexander past his prime after battling injuries and bench time in Baltimore? Let's dive into the details and unpack why this trade might just be the spark the Eagles' secondary needs. Reported by Jamison Hensley on November 1st, 2025, at 5:47 p.m. Eastern Time. Jamison Hensley serves as ESPN's dedicated reporter for the Baltimore Ravens. He came aboard ESPN in 2011. Initially covering the AFC North Division before honing in solely on the Ravens from 2013 onward. In 2018, Jamison earned the prestigious National Sports Media Association Maryland Sports Writer of the Year honor. And he's also the author of a compelling book called Flying High: Stories of the Baltimore Ravens. Prior to his time at ESPN, he covered the Ravens for the Baltimore Sun from 2000 to 2011. On Saturday, the Baltimore Ravens, accessible via ESPN's team page at https://www.espn.com/NFL/team/bow/Baltimore Ravens, completed a trade, sending veteran cornerback Jaire Alexander. Profile at https://www.espn.com/NFL/player/ID/385429. To the Philadelphia Eagles, team details at https://NFL/name/phi/Philadelphia Eagles. This shift happened after Alexander had been sidelined on the depth chart for several weeks, barely seeing the field. The deal specifics? Baltimore received a 6th-round pick in the 2026 NFL Draft in return for Alexander and a 7th-round pick slated for 2027. For beginners in football lingo, a depth chart is like a team's roster lineup. It shows who plays first, second, and so on. Being buried on it means you're not getting playing time, often due to injuries or better options ahead. Alexander, now 28, has appeared in just 2 of Baltimore's 8 games this season, logging a mere 61 snaps without recording any interceptions or passes defended. He's been listed as a healthy scratch 5 times, which is football speak for sitting out a game even when fit to play, allowing rookies or other players to get experience. This includes the Ravens' recent 28-6 victory over the Dolphins in Miami on Thursday night. To provide some context, the Ravens brought Alexander on board with a 1-year deal worth $4 million back on June 18. This reunion connected him with his old Louisville College teammate, quarterback Lamar Jackson. View his player page at https://NFL/player/ID/3916-387/Lamar Jackson. And bolstered Baltimore's defensive backfield by adding a 5th former first-round draft pick. However, Alexander missed significant portions of training camp due to a knee issue and then faced challenges during the Ravens' dramatic 41-40 season opener defeat in Buffalo, where they collapsed in the 4th quarter. Now, switching to the Eagles, Alexander is poised for more opportunities to shine. Philadelphia's defensive backfield boasts talented players like Quinyon Mitchell. Check out his profile at https://NFL player/ID/686273 Quinyon Mitchell and Cooper DeJean. His page at https://NFL player/ID/AD2618 Cooper DeJean. But they've been searching for a reliable solution at the outside cornerback position opposite Mitchell. For those new to the game, an outside corner defends the widest receivers on the field, requiring speed and agility to cover passes. Adding intrigue, the Eagles recently added running back Michael Carter III earlier this week. Carter has primarily played in the nickel position throughout his career, which means lining up as a third defensive back in passing situations, raising the possibility that DeJean could shift to full-time outside duties if Carter secures a starting role. DeJean has already experimented on the outside in base defenses this season, with players like Adoree Jackson at https://www.espn, player in NFL at Adoree Jackson, and Keely Ringo at https message player in specialized packages. There's also a layer of familiarity within the Eagles organization. Passing game coordinator and defensive backs coach Christian Parker worked with Alexander during his time in Green Bay from 2019 to 2020, when Parker was a defensive quality control coach. This insider connection that helped Alexander settle in quickly. Before his stint with the Ravens, Alexander was cut loose by the Packers on June 9th after 2 seasons plagued by injuries. Recognized as an All-Pro in 2020 and 2022, he managed to suit up for only 34 out of a possible 68 games with Green Bay between 2021 and 2024. As a shining example of his talent, the number 18 overall pick in the 2018 draft, Alexander has racked up an impressive 292 tackles, 12 interceptions, and 70 passes defended over his career. And this is the part most people miss. Despite his accolades, Alexander's recent struggles highlight a broader debate in football. How do teams balance veteran experience with the need for fresh legs? Some fans argue he's still a game-changer with the right opportunity, while others wonder if injuries have dimmed his star. ESPN's Tim McManus contributed to this report. What do you think? Will Alexander revitalize the Eagles' defense, or is this trade a risk worth taking? Do you believe the Ravens' decision to trade him was a smart roster move, or did they let a gem slip away? Share your thoughts in the comments below. I'd love to hear if you agree, disagree, or have a different take on how this shapes the NFL season.